Welcome back. Today I will show you how I made this white chocolate and raspberry birthday cake. Start off by sifting out your flour and your baking powder into a bowl. Set all of that aside and then start measuring out your butter. Whisk your butter and your sugar together until it's light and creamy. Add in your vanilla, mix it all together and then start adding your eggs 2 at a time, mixing in between. Once your butter, eggs and sugar are all mixed together, start adding your dry ingredients and your milk, alternating in between, starting with your dry, and mix until it's all smooth, alternating a couple of tablespoons of flour and then a little bit of milk. Once the cake batter is all smooth, you can divide it in between tins. I'm baking 2 6-inch cakes that I'm gonna divide into half, and it's about 650 grams of batter in each one. Also, lining your tin with tin foil is not ideal because it caramelizes more around the sides, but at that point I didn't have any baking paper and the supermarkets were closed because I was baking at night, so don't do that if you can. So once the cakes are cool, as you can see that's the next day, you can level them. If you don't have a cake leveler, or if you don't trust yourself with a knife, you can just use dental floss. And I used some simple syrup to drizzle on the cakes so they're super moist. Simple syrup is just equal measurements of sugar and water mixed in a pan together until it's melted. And then start making your buttercream. It's the same buttercream that I made for my rose cupcakes. It's basically 250 grams of butter and 500 grams of icing sugar, 1:2 ratio basically, and just mix the butter first and then add half of the icing sugar, mix it all in and then add the remaining icing sugar. Then you can add food colouring, milk, vanilla or whatever flavour you want. It's very, very versatile. What I did first though is, because I will be dyeing this buttercream pink, I added my food colouring into the milk so the colour is more smooth and it's easier to mix it all in. You do need milk in buttercream, otherwise it'll be too stiff. So yeah, it is easier to dye the actual milk first and then add it into the buttercream rather than putting the gel food colouring straight into the buttercream, because then it can get streaky, it's harder to mix it all in. Then put some buttercream on your cake board and add your first layer of the cake. then I spread some buttercream on the cake, added some white chocolate chips and some fresh raspberries, and then repeat until you have no more cake left. And obviously don't put raspberries and white chocolate chips on the top layer because you want it nice and smooth, but in between, in the middle of the cake, add raspberries and white chocolate chips. So once your cake is all stacked, you can crumb coat it to protect all the crumbs and chill it for about 20 to 30 minutes so it's nice and firm. And once all that is chilled, you can actually ice it with a thicker layer of buttercream, as you can see I'm doing here. Once the cake is all iced, put it back in the fridge for about half an hour for it to firm up properly. Then melt some white chocolate in a bowl over a pan of simmering water for it to melt gently. What I did do, I tried to make a white chocolate drizzle, but the white chocolate seized up. So I ended up just using melted white chocolate in the end, but it was slightly too warm, so you will see my sharp edge on the cake kind of melted and it didn't look as good as I wanted it to. So I think in the future I'll just stick to dark chocolate glaze because I don't know how to perfect the white chocolate glaze. Drizzle the white chocolate over, and as you can see it was too warm, so it is melting that edge of the cake, but once I started it was too late to stop, so I just went along with it. Once all of that is done, I put some freeze-dried raspberries around the top to give it a bit of colour and make it pop, and then I will put the freeze-dried raspberries around the bottom of the cake as well. That's it, the cake is done. Make sure you come back next week for a brand new video, and I hope you enjoyed it today. And follow me on Instagram and Facebook at CookWithAgne, and see you next week. Bye!